What's good, everybody? Welcome to a happy Tuesday. Thank you for being here with me today on the ML Family Channel. For those of you that's new, my name is Mary. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you're notified every time I post a video. Drop a comment down below. Questions, opinions, doesn't matter. Just go ahead and drop it in the comment section. And in the description, I'll leave my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok so you can come join me over there. Got a few updates to give you on the new stimulus package and what they talked about today. So let's get into it. Okay, everyone, we're going to discuss in this video the COVID-19 first, then the stimulus check with what's inside the stimulus bill. The new HEROES Act 2, I call it. So, COVID-19 today has reached 1 million deaths. From the bottom of my heart, I apologize to anyone who has contracted it or lost a loved one, family member, friend, or anyone they know to the coronavirus. It should have been stopped. It wasn't, but it should have been stopped. It is sad to know that many people have lost their lives globally, not just within the U.S., but globally altogether. 1 million people. That is a harsh number. So can we please take a moment of silence for 1 million? Okay, thank you so much. Now on to the stimulus bill. The new stimulus bill I call the HEROES Act 2 has included the stimulus, the EBT, PPP, FPUC unemployment, the airline, school, health, such stuff like that. Stimulus checks, 1,200 individual, 2,400 married couple, 500 dependent, regardless kid or adult, family of 4 or 5. They haven't clarified that yet, but I'm hoping that they get this bill passed so that all of us can get the help that we need. Rent, the new national moratorium I stated in previous videos, went into effect September 1st, will expire December 31st, so we're good on rent. PPP loans for small businesses, FPUC, and unemployment for all the states. They've got that included in the bill. But as of right now, the only thing that I could find was that Virginia will begin issuing $300 payments to eligible individuals for September. Now, they didn't clarify retroactive. So I don't know if it's just retroactive to September and we're still in September, but it said retroactive, $300 retroactive payments starting in October. So I think it's the second week of October. The $300 in Virginia will start being issued. Now, as far as Wisconsin goes, Wisconsin's unemployment office has had some issues, and people have reported that every time they have called, they have either heard busy signals, been hung up on, the phone call's been abandoned, put on hold, and they haven't been able to get through to any agents. A lot of people's been having concerns about this. Now, what Wisconsin's unemployment office has done is hired more staff workers, and that also extended hours. That way, everybody can get through, get in their claims, and be able to collect their unemployment. Now, the airlines, October 1st is Thursday. That is the airline's deadline for the furloughed workers. 2 options. Remember, I said this in a previous video. For those of you that seen those. Their 2 options are fire or rehire. 40,000 jobs are about to be cut due to a lack of funding for the furloughed workers. The lack of financial support. And a lot of the workers, some of the workers have reported, and I quote, they don't have enough money to get by. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. I don't have enough saved to be able to pay all my bills. So, with that being said, that issue needs to be fixed. Because they're workers too, and they may not be in the same field as other workers, but all workers need their unemployment. All workers need their jobs. All workers need their money, period. Point blank. So, I mean, that goes without saying. Now, I'm going to move on to the Gallup poll and the Motley Fool poll. The Gallup poll has reported 43% of voters said that $1,200 is not enough. It's not enough. It hasn't been enough. It wasn't enough the first time. And we got the stimulus checks the first time, and this is heading into October. And I mean, come on. One $1,200 payment months ago. Some people just now receiving them. Like I seen a comment that some lady had posted that her husband just received his today. April. All the way to September. That's 5 months. It took you 5 months to send somebody their money? That's ridiculous. And also, there's a deadline coming for everybody for the 9 million who did not receive their first stimulus check who are eligible. You need to go on to the non-filers and you need to file on there immediately. Get it done. There's no a time frame of going on to the non-filers throughout the day. Go on it, get it done. The deadline for that is October 15th. You need to get it done so that you can get your money. You deserve your money. You need to get your money. Now, 7 out of 10 Americans, that makes up 70% of Americans saying another stimulus needs to be provided. It needs to be sent. Agreed. I agree. 82% of Democratic voters showed in the polls that another stimulus check is needed. 64% of Republican voters shows in a poll that another stimulus is needed. 66% of independent voters shows in a poll that another stimulus is needed. Now that's high numbers. 82% Democratic, 64% Republican, 66% of independent voters want another stimulus, need another stimulus. Send the stimulus, fix it, get it done. Get the bill done. PVP, present, vote, and pass. Get it done. Now, the $2,000 monthly retroactive in 3 months when the pandemic is over bill is gaining a lot of traction. It's even gaining some congressional traction. That is some good news. Because before it was, oh, we don't care about the $2,000 a month. We ain't even going to talk about that. We're going to throw that to the wayside. But now it's being talked about. That is some good news. Even with the Problem Solvers Caucus bill, 25 Democrat, 25 Republican, got together, made a perfect bill that should be passed. Could have a little more added to it, but it should be passed. That's the one that should be voted on and passed and signed. It was already presented. Now it just needs to be voted and passed. And from what I've heard today, the new bill is just a foley for them to have a starting point for Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Secretary Steven Mnuchin to do the negotiations. Why are you making a bill to be a starting point? The starting point was January when the pandemic started. The starting point was back in August. The starting point was back in May. There shouldn't be no more starting points. There should be a present the bill, vote the bill, pass the bill, get it to the president so it can be the signed bill. That's what we need. But I also myself have a feeling they will pass the bill. I have a feeling that they're going to pass the bill. But again, it's a wait and see. I have a feeling it's going to get past this new HEROES Act, trickled down HEROES Act too. I have a feeling it's going to get passed. I mean, they said that Steven Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi, as of right now, are still talking. They were supposed to end last night. They said that they were stopping last night. But they jumped out. And they're still talking. So, that's a good sign. Moving on to the Motley Fool poll. The Motley Fool poll is showing 70% of Americans. Which, I'm like, okay, that's a good percentage. But then it's also now jumped up. 82% is saying the same thing. Send another stimulus, get the stimulus done. I'm going to include a video pretty close to the end of this one to show you what Chuck Schumer said today. But I'm going to get into something about the debate. That's the debate that's happening. I have a feeling that it's going to be brought up. I'm not going to say that I'm 100% sure, but I have a feeling it's going to be brought up. An executive order. If this bill is not passed, I have a feeling that Donald Trump, our president, we could possibly hear him announce an executive order for the stimulus. Larry Kudlow stated during a recent interview, along with others at the White House, that the White House has money to repurpose for aid. So I have a feeling he is going to get it done. He's going to repurpose the money and get it sent out for the stimulus checks. That's what I feel. And it just seems like the House and the Senate has so much going on with themselves, like they're not convinced that we're not struggling enough. It's not as bad as it looks. It's bad. We need help. It's bad. So that is all that I have. That is all the information that I have and all the research that I have done. We have to get on social media and start talking. Start tweeting, start getting out there, sending messages. It's time for us to start talking to get our part done. I mean, our part is already done besides the fact that we need to vote. But we need to get out there and we need to start speaking and getting our voices heard. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and add this video in. I love y'all. God bless you. Thank you to all my subscribers, supporters, for all that you have done for my channel. Stay safe. Have a good night. And until the next one.
Additional resources for testing and contact tracing, and measures to strengthen the post office and complete the census. It includes important aid for transit systems, vital aid vital to our nation's economy. It includes crucial support for economic drivers, like restaurants, music venues, independent theaters, and more, that we've named in our Save the Stages Act, Save Our Stages Act, and includes critical workplace standards and protections for our workers. Is this new bill everything the Democrats want? No. But it's an honest attempt to provide the relief our country needs and reach an agreement by moving closer to our Republican colleagues who want to provide much less relief, if they want to provide any at all. Once again, the bill demonstrates the willingness on the part of Democrats to compromise. COVID-19 remains the #1 issue in America. Weekly unemployment claims are still through the roof. Schools are struggling to adapt. Over 200,000 Americans have died. We are a long way from putting this crisis in the rearview mirror. But none of this seems to concern the Republican majority in the Senate. As countless businesses are going under, as thousands continue to get sick, as millions of Americans are waiting for the Senate to do its job, Leader McConnell and Senate Republicans are moving at a lightning pace to jam through a Supreme Court nominee. A nominee that could rip health care away from tens of millions of Americans in the middle of a pandemic. Leader McConnell chose to put the Senate on pause for 4 months while COVID devastated our through a partisan nomination to the Supreme Court. Goes to show you the priorities on the other side of the aisle. One final matter. Over the weekend, the New York Times reported that President Trump paid $750 in income taxes in 2016.